Hello and welcome to the Landscaper Grow Show. My name is Mark Lamberth. I'm your host. Today I'm speaking with Luke Willis at Oklahoma Landscape Architects in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Luke, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so would love to start just by hearing what services you provide for your customers there in Tulsa.
Well, landscape architecture services it's such a broad field. Just like anything in the green industry, it's massive. So just depends what they want. I'm trained even to, design neighborhoods. I'm trained to design campuses. Has anyone asked me to do that yet? No, but I can. I would love to do those types of things. But landscape architecture, it can be massive like that, massive scale like that, or it can be underneath the windows of somebody's house, under a breakfast nook, whatever it can be, which was a roof framing plan for a shade structure that's tying into an existing home. So with big columns, and it's really tall. It's like 13 and a half feet off the pool deck.
Oh, no
It's
kidding.
massive. So it's a broad field. Working on a shopping mall in Norman, and the guy bought a huge shopping center, and so I'm going through the other day. Last week I was on his site taking plant inventory and sketching it in, and then I drew the existing, and so now I'm going to design what I would envision for those islands around the parking lots. There's a bunch of dead trees and things like that. It's just been neglected. So it's an old landscape, needs to be redone. So there's a lot of things we can do for sure.
Amazing. What percentage of the business is commercial versus residential?
It has just this year, last year, it has changed. It's really close to maybe 40% residential and 60% commercial. Whereas let's see, Angie Leads I was a contractor for a long time, and Angie Leads, I would get a lot of work from there. I'm not giving them a plug, but I would get a lot of work from there, and I just kept it when I got my landscape architecture license, and I would still get residential. So I've phased out of that, and it has transitioned into 60% commercial probably.
Okay. It was a lot less commercial before, and now you're getting a lot more kind of commercial work.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Great. So I'm curious, Luke, actually just kind of about a day in the life of a landscape architect, right? So I mean, meaning like as it relates to jobs. So someone is a referral or they find out about guys online, find you guys somehow. They call and they say, "Hey, I've got a property over here." Say it's a residential property. And what does it look like for you to go and sort of like to begin to engage with them, right? Or, how you're kind of making suggestions, how you kind of communicate with them. And then what does the kind of, how does the job progress over the next, few weeks or month from that point?
I, as a contractor for probably over 20 years, and my dad's a contractor. He's 81 and still running a skid loader. Growing up under him and learning all those things, and I can't imagine being a landscape architect and not knowing how to do a lot of things that you guys do, that contractors do. So I'm very thankful to know that when I go meet a client for that initial site visit, I don't charge for any of those things. I just go see what they need, and it's important to me to get the husband and the wife together during this meeting. I'm sure you all know when they clash, it causes problems in life. So I'll get everybody together, ask what they want, and I look at it as, let's say, a residential, they want swimming pools, they want fire pits, they want outdoor kitchens. I'm going to design what they want, and then they can phase in according to their budget and make it, and it all jives with the plan. And that's what I tell them. So I'll let them know right there on site what the design fees will be. I'll take it back to the office. Once they sign an actual proposal, I'll go back out. I'll take a laser level and I'll shoot grades. I'll take measurements. I'll measure all the existing. I'll find all the windows everything that I need to know to draw a base map. And then from there, I'll do a conceptual, maybe 2, maybe even 3. Just depends what they want. Just depends what the site is. Sometimes there's really only they know what they want. They know where it needs to be, and I don't need to go through a bunch of conceptual stuff. But I will draw a conceptual plan, and then we'll go into layout and dimensioning. Then you start getting in your construction documents that's handed to the landscape contractor, and sometimes it needs to be stamped and submitted to the city for permitting. Sometimes, most of the time, it does not on a residential for landscaping.
Okay, great.
In this area, So, and then we'll go through the construction documents. We're going to have layout and dimensioning, grading and drainage. We'll have construction details of the swimming pool, of the fire pit. How are these things handled? Yeah, an irrigation diagram and landscape lighting, planting plans, all those things. So I submit that to the owner, and then I give them an option. Hey, do you want me to be the GC on this, or do you all want to handle it? And then it goes to the contractors after that point. So
Gotcha.
the lifestyle of a landscape architect I found is totally different than when I was a contractor. I mean, I know you guys work hard, and I just 1 years old. I've got to stay healthy. So
yeah, man, I heard that.
Because you guys, I mean, it's hard work, and I was really strong back then, but now I can feel the strength is not the same. So the lifestyle is totally different, for sure. Day-to-day lifestyle.
Okay. When you're kind of proposing a project for someone, I mean, a lot of times, residential homeowner, they're going to have like really ambitious goals, right? You want a new pool, want a, outdoor kitchen. You might be looking into, $250,000 projects, or more. Yeah. When you're sort of proposing what someone would do, are you going to propose kind of a range? Say, look, this is the top end, if this over here is going to be $300,000 projects. I can also design a $200,000 project and $125,000 project. Any of that, or how do you kind of negotiate but how do you ameliorate someone's, really high expectations of kind of what they can afford and what, what something's going to cost?
I don't like to guess. I tell them, I'm not going to guess what you all want costs. Let's get down on paper what you want. Let's get it designed, or get your place designed how you want it exactly, and spot for bids. I'm not going to guess. I don't know how guys do it. I'm not going to take that risk. Like an idiot at the end, Some guys are good at that. I don't trust. I can be like, okay, they tell me what they want, and they're like, oh, but we only want to, we only have a $10,000 budget. I was like, well, in my experience, what you just talked about is probably 120, so I'll design it the way you want it, but I don't like to guess on those things. And I'm very clear about that when I meet with them. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to know exactly once we get it all designed and we get numbers back from people. That's the way I handle that. So.
Gotcha. And then can I just ask, and we don't even have to get into kind of what the specific number is, but just to, in my limited understanding of exactly how this type of project goes, if you're the GC on a project, you're going to take a percentage, whatever that percentage is, but you're going to take a percentage of the whole project. Is that how you're getting paid on that? Or is there another way that
it's pretty arbitrary? I look at the whole project and be like, residential, am I going to be that active? I don't need to make a percentage. If it's a $250,000, I don't need to make a 10%. That's just goofy, So
okay,
it's arbitrary. I'll just pick a number. Really, is all I ever do. So
gotcha.
I keep it simple. I keep whole numbers, and I'm not going to throw in cents through there. And design fees, it's going to be a whole number, and that's what I stick with. It's not. Sometimes I'll do an hourly rate, and then have a projected target out there, but most of the time I'm going to do the design for this much, and I'm going to make this much off a GC project. So I try to keep it simple for everybody. I'm a one-man show, and that's how I like to do it. So
That's great, Luke. Well, I can tell you've really like made it easy to work with you, right? Like, look, it's
I try.
yeah, it's casual, and we'll just make
Yeah.
everybody feel good, and that's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Great, Luke. Well, if folks are in Tulsa and looking for a great landscape architect to work with, what are the best ways to get in touch with you?
Just my phone number. It's in my pocket, 918-264-6636. And then work examples are on OklahomaLandscapeArchitects.com.
Okay, great. Let me make sure I have this number right. 918-264-6636.
Yes, sir.
You can get in touch with Luke, or you can find him over on his website. Great URL, Oklahoma, easy to remember, OklahomaLandscapeArchitects.com.
It's long, but yeah, it's a Google search, really, is why I named the company Willis. So.
That's great. Well, fantastic. Well, Luke, thanks for coming on today and sharing the story of your business and what you guys are up to over in Tulsa. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.